I'm back. Hey, this time I'm not at the Tarahumara or at some ultra-endurance event. I'm actually on vacation. Susan dragged me to Sicily. I must say this has been a wonderful place, and she found this gem of a place in a little town called Caltabellotta on the south coast of Sicily. We're at a bed and breakfast, Sotto le Stelle, which translates to Under the Stars, and it's a wonderful little town up in the mountains, but fairly close to the coast. We are surrounded by vineyards and olive groves. There are some truly great restaurants here. Italy has a big slow food movement, and we found a great slow food inspired restaurant. You know, the whole slow food concept is using local ingredients, traditional recipes, and cooking everything from scratch. Needless to say, I have eaten a lot here. I'm also quite proud of myself that every morning I've gone out for at least a 1-hour run through the village streets, the mountaintops, the vineyards, and you'll see a little video of that. Hey, Sicily has a really interesting history. It goes back at least 5,000 years to the Bronze Age settlers, and they have some Bronze Age settlements and tombs up here. Then it was taken over by the Phoenicians. You remember the Phoenicians from ancient history? They were from the coast of Lebanon, from Tyre and Sidon and Canaan. They kind of invented sailing and seagoing vessels. They came here first, settled it, and then the Greeks came. Then came the Romans, and then a whole succession of other people following. The Normans conquered it for a while. In fact, there's a Norman castle up on the hill behind me. Then there were Arabs and Spaniards and Frenchmen and finally Italians. But you'll see what a great place this is. Looking around, you'll see some of the town around me. There's the rock pinnacle with the Norman castle. And as I scan around, just a whole lot of history and culture, and just a really, really interesting place. As we look out there in the lowlands beneath us, there's olive groves and vineyards. There's also a lot of oranges grown out there. And there is the blue Mediterranean, which sometimes I refer to as being the African Sea, because Tunisia and the north coast of Africa is only 80 miles away. Heck, that's like from Lynchburg to Blacksburg, you know. I know people that can swim that far. Anyway, this has been a great trip, and you'll see more of my video to come. Thank you. Starting out on my morning run from the bed and breakfast we're at, the Sotto la Stella, Under the Stars. Heading up the alleyways here in Caltabellota. Fair to say we got some hill climbs to do on this. Where we're eventually headed is up there. More uphill through the twisty, narrow street. Once again, keep going up and up and up. You finally get to the little square in the center of town. Pretty picturesque. Includes the one police car in town. There's a road sign to Castello Conte Luna, the panoramic view, and there also is a cave up there. From what I understand, it's been used for burials since 3000 BC. Here's a sign for the town museum, and we keep running up these narrow cobblestone streets. Coming up near the top, you can see where some of the steps were actually carved into the stone. It's kind of eerie being up here. A really neat place, though. Looking down on what were some of the fortifications of this mountain castle. Here's the view from the high point in Caltabellota. Came up this rock pinnacle that used to be a castle, a fortress, commanding views all the way around. Just can't get over how pretty it is up here. Looking down on the cathedral. And another rock spire looking out into central Sicily. Here's looking down on the village itself of Caltabellotta. They found human remains buried here in caves dating back to 3000 BC. This has been a much fought over location over the centuries. Up there is where we just came from the top. Beautiful morning to be out for a run. It's about 7 a.m. Not a lot of people out here. And that, I think, might be the burial cave. It's the only cave I've found around here. There's a little path up to it. I went in at about 15-20 feet, didn't have a headlamp, came back out. Another one to add to my spelunking list. Nice scenery running along the back side of these rock formations. Onward. I haven't been down that road yet. There in the distance, I don't know if you can see it, are some of the wind turbines. A lot of those on hills around here. Once again, more of the scenery of what's ahead. This is a Norman castle, later became a monastery. Yes, Normans. Got a little park here along the trail. You can see that pinnacle we were up on, the village, scanning out over the valleys. And out there in the distance is the blue Mediterranean. And here's a little bar, which is not open yet because it's only 7:30 in the morning. They don't even drink that early in Sicily. It's all downhill from here, running down the cobblestone streets to get back to the bed and breakfast. I like the stonework in the cobblestone streets here. Looking out now into the little square. Things are waking up a little bit more. A real common style of car here is something called the Panda. Susan always thought that if she had a car called the Panda, she'd paint it black and white, kind of like a panda bear.